Remember watching Vin Diesel in the sci-fi Babylon AD? There was a motorcycle in it amongst other custom vehicles, and if you want to be a madman in real life, you need to check out this project. French designers have now delivered the limited edition La Moto Volante, which translates to the flying motorcycle. Defying all odds, including gravity, this jet-powered machine is an updated artistry from yet another mind-bending machine, a tilting four-wheeler built around a fire-breathing 470 horsepower Maserati engine. After many years of trying, a few days ago this hybrid made its first successful takeoff, and it's getting closer to being ready for the market. Isn't it so wonderful that the imagination from the sci-fi Hollywood movies is now getting so real? And it's another good beginning for another great Sports News episode. I'm your host, REGAN TETLOW. To the skies. Paragliders have waited so long to start the Paragliding World Cup, so right after the COVID-19 easing, they started to compete in Italy, and we have final results today. 128 pilots have been flying in 7 beautiful tasks during the 21 Germana di Friuli World Cup competition. It was the third time that the pilots have had a chance to race in a World Cup in this beautiful place. Located on the northeast side of Italy, close to the Slovenian border, the main competition takeoff was from Mount Curiani. It is a large and easy, allows 5 gliders to take off simultaneously with an ample preparation area for up to 135 pilots. The winner of this year's competition was Jonathan Marin, second place goes to Ulrich Prinz, and third Simon Metal. Congratulations guys. On Monday at exactly 1800, Shingel Morer from Switzerland landed on the Red Bull X-Alps raft and won this year's Red Bull X-Alps competition. Moria started the morning near Bolzano with 160 kilometers lead over his closest competitors, and with another 160 kilometers to go until Zermatt, he was in the air by 9:45 a.m. and flew practically the whole day. He landed, of course, at turn point 11 Kronsplatz to sign in and quickly took to the skies again. Racing Chingol, but getting nowhere near today, Maxime Pinot from France used his night pass and hiked all through the night until 3 a.m. and then started again at 5 a.m. but without any chance to chase the Swiss pilot. Maxime, together with Swiss Patrick von Cannel and Australian Simon Oberona, had been close together all day and are chasing for second place in the race. Anyway, Morier won this competition for the 7th time. Wingsuit designers have got another great idea to add engines to this extreme sport, making it even more stunning, and E-Wings is the new project. Take a look. E-Wings is the ultimate human flight project. Electric turbines combined with wingsuits. The pilot is at one with the wing and the compact thrust system. Thanks to the most modern source of energy, low temperature exhaust allows the 4 powerful engines to be attached to the body at chest level for better balance and a natural feeling. And inside the wingsuit, the pilot's position creates an aerodynamic profile. The pilot is the wing. My special guest this week is a passionate skydiving coach whose love of flying has inspired many. From a career in the music world of Hollywood to running the LSD Bigway camps and many other forward-thinking projects focusing on empowerment and wellness within the sport. Ladies and gentlemen, please meet Alethea Austin.
Well, I've got massive respect for you. Big place in my heart. We've worked together on many occasions down in Skydive Spain at the Boogies, the Christmas Boogie there. Are you really... You know, people tell me I motivate them and I make them feel charged and alive. There's not many people I can say that about, and you're one of them. You really do pull out the best of people around you. Are you aware of that?
Hold on. Got me straight to the heart, Regan. Really, as strange as it is, I know I have an energy. Yeah, for sure. I can say that now after reaching the ripe age of 40 plus. But it's really, you know, I'm charged by other people for sure. And people such as yourself and your openness, you know, this sort of exchange really goes deep inside of me. And then that's where I sort of charge myself and give it out there. So it's only because I get it reflected back for sure. And it's a beautiful thing. And I appreciate that.
Did you have a life in the real world before skydiving?
I did, yeah. Well, slightly real. I feel like I've gotten away with a lot in my life for sure. You know, came from a really small family and very humble beginnings, we'll say. And so I put myself through part of college, but it was really expensive and I couldn't quite keep that up. I started writing in Los Angeles, just restaurant reviews and little articles about kind of what was happening under the scene in Los Angeles. And then I got into the music business.
You've got your camps, your LSD camps, and you've got the world record coming up. Can you just break both of those down a little bit? Tell me what's going on.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm in year 5 or 6 of my LSD camps, Regan. It's awesome. They're level slot dock, obviously, or maybe not obviously. I started them with big wave vertical camps for my own need of trying to get people together so that I could train for the women's world record. I didn't know when it was. I had no connection. I couldn't even really fly head down, but I needed to get that practice. So yeah, it's been a couple years of successful LSD vertical camps. And now 2.5 years ago, I branched into LSD angle camps. So now I'm running both simultaneously, 2 plain big ways and LSD angle movement camps that are really skills camps. They're a blast. I love them. I'm super honored and so grateful for this opportunity.
And you can find out more from Alethea on our YouTube channel. During the Paris Air Forum, the pioneer of urban air mobility, Volocopter, announced that they have kicked off their test flight campaign in Paris. The test took place at Paris-Le Bourget Airport earlier this month. With the Velocity model on site, Volocopter demonstrated the progress being made to introduce electric vertical takeoff and landing aircraft as an addition to existing transportation in the Paris region. The Volocopter company was founded in 2013 when their owners started an online fundraising effort on the Seed Match website. They raised €500,000 in just 2 hours and 35 minutes, setting a new European record. The money was used to build the VC200 prototype. When we want to learn flying, the best way to do this is with the greatest flight instructors we can imagine. And now there is such a possibility for aerobatic geeks. Well-known American aerobatic pilot Mike Gullian has prepared a nice educational vlog. One of the staples of aerobatics, the spin, is one of the most feared, but also one of the most misunderstood maneuvers. In Gullian's opinion, every pilot should get spin training at some point while they're young in their aviation career. Using Mike's experience, now everyone can come along for a ride as he demonstrates a spin. And you can find out more interesting videos from Mike on his Facebook profile and his YouTube channel. So in the past, if you wanted to be an aero modeler, well, first you should raise some money and buy the radio-controlled model, or build your own using wood or carbon fibre. But now you can print your own model on a 3D printer, and it's flyable. Take a look at this. This is an 8th scale remote control Shark Aero. Wingspan is 9.9 centimeters, the length is 8.6, and with a takeoff weight of around 1 kilogram, depending on the battery on with and without gear, this model has a very efficient wing, so the flight time is longer than the builders have seen on most 3D printed airplanes with a flight time of around 8 to 10 minutes. This DIY flying model can be made with all necessary instructions and vlogs prepared by Troy Milligan on YouTube. So do you have $250,000 lying around that you don't know what to do with? Well, maybe you could spend it on a suborbital spaceflight. Now, after the Federal Aviation Administration has decided that the Virgin Galactic Company is fully legal. The FAA has upgraded Virgin Galactic's commercial space transportation operator license to allow the company to carry paying passengers to space. It has been reported that Virgin Galactic currently has over 600 reservations for its planned commercial passenger space flights. with tickets pricing running between $200,000 and $250,000. The licensing update comes after the company successfully completed its third crewed spaceflight. Unity hit a top speed of Mach 3 and reached an altitude of 55.5 miles above the ground. 3 additional test flights are planned prior to the launch of commercial passenger operations. Alright, I just need to check my savings and just find out exactly how much I do have. Because of the FPV drone flying technology, now we can watch old things in a completely new perspective, even when it's inside buildings. Polish FPV cinematic company prepared stunning video recorded from a drone flying inside the old palace in Jakowice. Take a look. Our good friends from This Is Flight released a fresh video of one of the most stunning air shows this year. More than 20,000 spectators visited Lesno Antidote Air Show a week ago. And, well, they were lucky. Take a look. Alright, now it's time to move on to our brand new segment, the Gordon Bennett Update, with interesting interviews with all the gas ballooning crews. Let's check it out. In September 2020, these 2 members of the Stuttgart Balloon Sports Group had set themselves a goal of breaking their previous record of 37.5 hours airborne. The journey first went towards the French border and then back towards home, where the hydrogen-filled balloon floated around over the weekend, including at night, and at an altitude of up to 3,000 metres. The landing then took place in Hilleborn. Result, 62.5 hours in the air, a new record for these 2 pilots. So let's see how the preparation for the Coupe du Monde Gordon Bennett 21 goes for Benedikt Muntz and Matthias Schlegel from Team Germany 2.
Yeah, how's the preparations going?
Well, actually, the overall situation with all the postponement with the Gordon Bennett race and all that has limited motivations so far to really embark on big preparations. But we are normally we can say we are almost always prepared for a gas balloon flight. So with our first Gordon Bennett 2 years ago in Bern in Switzerland, preparations were of course bigger. We were all shopping to find warm clothes and lightweight sandbags and all that stuff. So but by now we've got a pretty good equipment all together, with the equipment from our balloon club in Stuttgart as well. So we at least until now we didn't do any bigger preparations, but we can do that within some days, so it's not a problem.
Since in Germany we have to do qualification flights for the Gordon Bennett, we are always on hold to do a bigger gas balloon flight. That's why everything is basically always prepared. There is a few minor things we have to add for the Gordon Bennett, but the most of the stuff is always prepared to fly.
Always ready, yeah.
Somebody was asking me about the equipment inside, and we've seen all the computers and the iPads and the radios and things. They were asking, do you have any traditional equipment, any old style compass on board, or is it all electronic now?
Yeah, of course we do have backup equipment in case the electronics fail. So we still have an old school compass, for example. Anything you want to add, Ben?
Well, I think the most important thing we always have is our salmon bread for breakfast. So that's the old school thing we always have with us, because that's something we took from my father, who is a gas balloon pilot as well. So at sunrise, we always prepare us a nice breakfast with some salmon and horseradish.
And this team is going to be competing in the America's Challenge for the first time this year. But if the handicappers were setting odds, this formidable French duo might well be considered to be the favourites. Eric Decelliers is relatively new to gas ballooning competition, but has competed in 4 Gordon Bennetts and has finished in the top 5. Preparations this year with Benyo Haré are well underway. Let's see what's going on in this famous French team right now.
So tell everybody who you're flying with, Eric. Who's in the basket with you?
So I am flying with Benoit Havre. Benoit Havre has been flying since 10 years, like me, in gas balloon. We have the same teacher, the same instructor, who is Vincent Les, who won the Gordon Bennett 9 times. So he taught us how to fly, what is the spirit, the competition, preparation. So we have the same spirit, and we were very pleased to fly together in Montbéliard 3 years ago. And we made a short flight. I mean, the short flight was only 46 hours, but we are very happy to fly again this year, despite the fact that Poland is very close to the Kaliningrad area, the Belarusia, the Ukraine, and as you know, 2 weeks ago there was big issue in Belarusia, and we were discussing about that time. So we will see, but anyhow, the team is prepared, and the pilot and co-pilot are ready.
French balloons are a little bit different, Eric. Built at home.
Yeah. So in fact, I have a balloon, a gas balloon, which I bought in Germany about 6-7 years ago, which was one of the last native balloons in Germany. It was quite cheap, and we are used in France to fly the historical vintage style with the native balloon. But we also have a big chance is that Vincent Les is making his own balloons in 40 years. They are all made balloons. And the first competition balloon that he built is the Petit Prince, Le Petit Prince from Saint-Exupéry. He built it in 1996, specifically for the Gordon Bennett, that he won first time in 97. And with this balloon, he won 6 times the Gordon Bennett. So he always improved regarding the weight, the strength, the performance of the balloon, the wide balloon, and so on.
And you can watch all the full-length interviews with the Gordon Bennett teams on the official gordonbennett.aero. On the 27th of June 1952, the Bell X-2 research rocket plane with test pilot Jean-Leroy Zeiger was airdropped from a mothership, a Boeing B-50 Super Fortress, over Edwards Air Force Base, California. This was the first flight of the X-2 program and was an unpowered glide flight for the pilot familiarization. On touchdown, the nose wheel collapsed and the aircraft slid across the dry lake bed, but was not seriously damaged. On the 27th of June 1988, during flight testing of the first Boeing 747-400, airliner pilots Jane Lorach and Howard Green took off from Moses Lake and climbed to an altitude of 2,000 meters. The total weight of this airplane was 405 tons. This set a new FAI world record for greatest mass carried to a height of 2,000 meters. On the 28th of June 2015, Solo Impulse 2 aircraft departed from Japan, Nagoya to Hawaii for the longest 118 hours flight in the career of the construction. It travelled 4,800 nautical miles with an average speed of 41 knots. Solo Impulse is a Swiss long-range experimental solar-powered aircraft project which is privately financed by Swiss engineer and businessman André Borchberg and Swiss psychiatrist and balloonist Bertrand Piccard. On the 28th of June 1927, Lester J. Maitland and Albert Heigenberger took off from Oakland Municipal Airport, California, aboard an Atlantic Fokker C-2 aircraft. Their destination was Wheeler Field, Honolulu, territory of Hawaii, 2,407 miles across the Pacific Ocean. After 25 hours and 50 minutes of flight, the Bird of Paradise landed at Wheeler Field, completed the first trans-Pacific flight. For their achievement, both officers were awarded the Distinguished Flying Cross. So that's it from today from an extremely hot and humid Montreal. I really hope you've enjoyed the programme, and if you have any questions or comments or questions, you can write to us at the addresses displayed on the screens right now. Hey, let's meet back again here next week. But until then, stay safe and keep your eyes on the skies.